Hi everybody, welcome to Disney Debates. My name is William and today we are going to be talking about the 1998 classic Mulan. I am here with Disney mega fan Stephanie Gallardo, so let's just jump right in. Hi Stephanie, how are you?
Hello, I'm very excited to be here. Very happy to be chatting with you about Disney, since I know we both love it, so I'm very excited for that. How are you?
I'm really good. This is our first show, so we don't know what's going to happen. But no, I'm excited. I'm ready to talk some Disney with you.
Yes, I'm excited as well. And this movie is particularly one of my favorites, so I'm very excited to talk about it.
First things first, why is this an important one for you?
This is specifically important for me because it was my first movie theater experience. I remember going to the movie theater with my dad and my sister, and I remember just feeling joyful and very happy. And since then, it became one of my favorite films because I just love it.
Sweet. For me, it's different. I was not the biggest fan of this movie, and it just didn't stick like other Disney films did. I'm not sure why. I think maybe the war angle didn't quite connect with me. So yeah, it didn't have much. I didn't have a big connection to it as a kid.
Did it change after that?
So I watched it today for the first time in maybe 20 years, something like that, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's actually a lot more mature than I remember it being, and I really liked it. But for you, why? Again, I presume you've watched it recently. What did you like about it recently?
I mainly love the comedy in it. I just love laughing, at movies, and those moments, even though I've seen it so many times, I still laugh as if it were the first time. So for me, it mostly comes from the comedy, the blend between comedy and action. I love action movies, so I think this movie has a little bit of everything.
I totally agree, but what I didn't like as much is, although the comedy was great and I thought Eddie Murphy was good, it was a bit tonally difficult for me to enjoy, because although you do have the really humorous parts, it shifts quickly into some quite serious scenes. Now Disney, maybe
Yes.
some previous Disney films, maybe The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, it takes its serious scenes seriously and it takes its comedic scenes very comedic, and I feel like some other Disney films blend it quite well. This one, it didn't ruin it for me, but I almost felt like it went very serious one minute with quite serious sword fighting and quite shocking, but also then there's the kind of Eddie Murphy comedic moments, and it didn't ruin it at all. It just took me out of it at times.
I guess you're saying that it doesn't give you that time to feel sad because it quickly changes into comedy again. I know exactly which scene are you talking about. I think we're talking about the same one.
It's usually all of them, especially the snow mountain scene. Are you talking about that one?
Yes.
I feel that same way throughout, even the finale, which I really like, and I love the finale. I think the last 30 minutes are wonderful. I do just think that those comedic moments don't ruin it, but they take me out of the action, which is brilliant, which is really good.
Yes, I totally understand that point of view. It has a little bit of both, and like you said, other Disney films may have blended better than this one, but it still doesn't take that, emotion from it or that sense of wonder when you see it.
I completely agree, and for me as well, the sign of a good Disney movie, if it has that Disney magic, and the ending in particular, oh my gosh, it's something only really Disney can replicate. Do you agree?
Yes, I really love, Disney movies and Pixar movies have always left me with a message that really, sticks to me after I watch the film. So I apply that to my life, and I think Disney has a lot to do with who I am as a person. So I've gotten very great lessons from this film. When we talk about it a little further with the characters and all that, I'll go deeper into it, but it basically shows us how to be strong, be yourself, and just be who you are.
I completely agree. So that brings us to our favorite scene of the movie. Now, what is your favorite scene?
Oh, it's hard to choose. I have so many. I love, one of my favorites is, it's towards the end. It has a deeper meaning to me, and that's when Mulan gets home, and she's like, here's the sword, here's the emblem. I did it, and then her father is like, I don't care about that. I just care about you. And he hugs her. That's my favorite part.
I love that scene. I absolutely love that scene. Yeah, it's brilliant. No, it's super touching. Even talking about it now, remembering it, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes, because she's trying to she's trying to prove herself to her family, because she has this idea that she has to be this certain kind of person. And after all that went down, his father is just happy for her, for who she is, and for being herself, That's very powerful.
Totally. He's just like, don't care what you've achieved if you have come back alive. This wasn't in my notes, but I think, what did you think about the gender aspect of it? How she kind of goes against what, even in China now, I don't quite know the whole situation regarding gender in China, but obviously back then, and even in where I'm from in the UK, hundreds of years ago, women had no rights. They weren't allowed to fight in battle. So I commend the film for going there. I do, and especially in a Disney movie.
I know. I was talking with my sister about this. How older Disney films seem to be a little braver, with their topics and the messages that they put out. We don't see that very often right now, but I do agree with you. Here in Mexico as well, people, it's still something that is talked about. The role of a woman is to, be a wife and just stay home and do what she has to do because of being a woman. So I do think the movie does it very well, because it shows that it doesn't matter, you can still do it.
My favourite scene in the movie, without a doubt, is the scene where she transforms into a guy and she cuts her hair. Like, that scene, in and of itself, transcended the whole film. I loved it. It was really powerful. It was really moving. And within that sort of 3-minute or even 2-minute long scene, it told you so much about the characters. It told you where the story is going. And it's really moving, really moving and really powerful. So I love that scene.
Yes, so what I specifically love about that scene is the song, the theme. It's very powerful as what you're watching on screen. So I think they complement each other very well.
What song is it? What song is playing?
It's not, a specific song. It's just a track on the soundtrack. I'll look it up and I'll let you know which one it is. But it's very powerful. Very powerful. It's just music, but it really complements that scene of her, making that decision to go to war and to leave everyone behind.
So next up, we are going to talk about our favourite songs from the movie. Now, there's 4 original songs in the film. My number 4 is A Girl Worth Fighting For. Now, what do you think about this song?
I like the melody. The lyrics, not so much, but it's one of my least favorites from the film. I still enjoy it. It's my number 3, so there's one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate all the songs in Mulan. I really like. I think they're good. This is a fine song. It's a good song. The problem I have with this song is when I think about this song, and I play it in my head, I don't like it. It's not bad per se, but it's just a bit like an earworm.
It's not one that you're gonna find yourself, singing or humming at any point, except as when you watch the film.
It's true. What's number 4 for you?
Number 4, Honor to Us All.
No, this was my 3. This was my number 3. So we've got similar. This song is fine. I mean, it's exposition. It tells us who Mulan is, what she has to do in order to become normal. deem normal in her culture. But I agree, it's a little bit lackluster. And it's interesting because when you watch the movie, you realise that there's only 4 songs in this film. 4. Were you shocked by that?
Yes, because, you know, usually it has a lot more songs, let's say about 5 or 6, that you really know from a film. It's like if you ask somebody, tell me a song from Mulan, there's usually 2 that they tell you about, which are, I'm sure, our top 1 and 2. But you don't think about that too much except if you put your mind to it, you know? So yeah, I was very shocked, only 4 songs.
Maybe Disney didn't want to commit to a full big musical. Maybe they felt like it wasn't necessary in this kind of wartime epic. What's number 2 for you?
Number 2 for me, this is tough because I really love both songs, but number 2 for me is Reflection.
Interesting. Reflection is my number 1. It's my number 1. I love it. And it's interesting because it starts off obviously in the beginning of the film and it's like instantly you're sucked into a Disney movie. And I love Reflection.
Reflection, I love the lyrics, you know, who is that girl I see staring straight back at me, you know, she doesn't recognize herself. She doesn't know who she wants to be because she has so many people telling her what to do, so she's confused. I love that song, but you know, I've caught myself singing along to I'll Make a Man Out of You way more times than Reflection. I think that song really pumps me up, you know, whether it's exercise or just listening to it on a daily basis. That's a song that really, really gets me excited. I love that montage from the film. I just love it because you see her, you know, struggling at first and then you see her progress to the best soldier there is.
Do you think, because I don't think Mulan is one of the great, me personally, I don't think it's one of the greatest Disney films. It's a very, very good Disney film. It's like up there, but it's not one of the, it's not a Little Mermaid, it's not a Beauty and the Beast, it's not an Aladdin. In my opinion, it's not an Aladdin. Do you think that if they added more songs, it would be deemed a classic? What do you think?
That's a good point, you know, because usually classics have a lot of songs and a lot of musical numbers, and like we said, this doesn't have that many. I think it comes down to, you know, likes, what you like the most. I still believe Mulan has a big fan base that really loves the film. You know, there's a reboot coming out, a live action. So I don't know if it comes down to the music or to the story, but for me, it's one of the greater Disney films.
For me, it's like 70% there. It's like, it's not quite 100% there for me. It's a 4-star movie, like it is, but you could argue that like there's no Mulan on Broadway. It didn't make that much money. I mean, it made 300 million, which was really good at the time, but on a 90 million budget. I'm not anti-Mulan. I really like this movie, but I'm not. It's just not the greatest for me.
And following your argument, there's no, you know, Mulan ride at Disney or Mulan themed land. So yes, I do get where you're coming from.
Well, that brings us to the remake. Like, what are your thoughts on the remake? Are you excited?
I'm very excited because I think what Disney live actions have done lately has been, you know, trying to do something new with the story. Even though it hits some of the same beats from the original, it's still trying to break from it and trying to add something new. So with the trailer, you know, I've only seen the trailer, so I think they're trying to bring this to a bigger audience, and they're totally changing it up because, you know, we don't see Shang Yu or we don't see Mushu. I believe he's not even going to be in the movie. So I think we're going to get a whole different version, but I'm still excited for it because it's Disney and they usually bring the magic. How about you?
I am so ready. I'm so ready. I've been, even from the first poster, I just think this looks beautiful. They put so much money into this, and I think this is going to be far more darker and serious. But I think, going back to my point earlier about the comedic not really working with the serious. I think this is going to be serious. I think this is going to be very serious. And yeah, they've got more supernatural elements, which looks interesting. I'm really, really excited. And I mean, before COVID, we would have been living our best life watching it, but now we have to wait.
I know they're even taking the songs away, so no music.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, I know. They're probably gonna do like an instrumental version to put in the background, just
yes,
to get those heartstrings and that nostalgia in. But yes, no musical numbers, no music.
I get frustrated with Disney when they recreate something, but then it's so similar to the original, like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. I don't watch those remakes. I saw them at the cinema and I really enjoyed them, but I never watch them now because they're nowhere that they're an imitation of the original. Sadly, they're great cinema experiences. I can watch them and have a good time, but I won't be repeating watching them. However, I think if Mulan successfully does something new, which it looks like it is, I'm all for it, and I think it's going to be interesting. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good.
Yeah, me too. And I hope we get to see it soon because it keeps getting pushed back. Our health is important, but I also do get to, I want to experience that in a movie theater.
Would you like them to put it on streaming?
I wouldn't, because I've really enjoyed the Disney remakes, the live actions in a movie theater, that first experience that you get with the big screen and the audio and an audience. So I think that's very important. I wouldn't want to see it, at home and then just be like, okay.
The millennial in me wants me to put it on streaming just so I can watch it straight away. If they put it on streaming or PVOD, I would buy it. I'd spend £15 and buy it 100%. But then piracy's huge. So
yes, I think that could affect them as well, So
is there anything else you wanted to add about Mulan, the original Mulan?
Mulan, I love it. It's one of those films that I could rewatch over and over again, and it doesn't matter how many times I see it, I still laugh, I still enjoy it as if it were the first time. So I just love the message about, being independent, being yourself, breaking molds. What other people think of you doesn't define you. I think that's very important. So I think it's great. I really hope, newer generations get to experience it, because as time passes by, maybe people forget the older Disney films, but they're classics or part of an era. So I really hope people give it a shot to the live action and to the, original animated film.
Amazing. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think it's a brilliant film. I think it's visually stunning. I think it's emotional. I think it's made really well. Is it my favourite Disney movie of all time? Absolutely not. But I think it's really, really good. And I think it's a great addition to the Disney collection. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very, very excited to keep talking, about Disney movies. Mulan was our first, but we have so many coming up. So make sure you follow the channel and watch the Disney movies that we talk about because, they're gems, Disney gems that you need to see.
Exactly. And where can people find you on social media?
Social media, my Instagram and Twitter, it's @StephGallardo, and my YouTube channel is Minute Movie Pop. So I'll be uploading videos there as well if you want to follow me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining and see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be a regular show, so if you want to stay up to date, I would recommend you to subscribe. You've been watching Disney Debates on Worth Your Time with William. I will see you next time. Bye.